In the field, Natalie and Kat.
And your anchors, Josh and Brenna.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the BBC. Good evening to you all. I'm Josh.
And I'm Brenna.
And this is the British Broadcasting Company. Thank you all for joining us tonight, April 27th, 1773. We have many of the largest news stories for you tonight, but first we will begin with breaking news from Parliament.
Today, Parliament passed an anticipated Tea Act. Catherine has main details on that story right now.
Thank you, Brenna. As you were saying, the Tea Act was placed today. It was placed to save the East India Company from bankruptcy. The goals for this act will be to drive down the market price of tea and to win back our consumers in the colonies. Lately, the Parliament has been struggling to maintain its legislative rights over the overzealous colonies. I'm going to try to get some more information on the Tea Act, but in the meantime, it's back to the main desk with Josh and Brenna. Go.
Many thanks, Catherine.
According to our sources, the Tea Act will allow tea to be taxed at its source. Not only will this greatly benefit the East India Company as well as Great Britain in its entirety, but it will also allow the tea to be sold exclusively to chosen merchants.
Hear, hear. I don't know about you, Josh, but it seems like those rowdy settlers are becoming quite a handful.
At least we don't have to worry about the tea being taxed.
Quite true. Well, this is BBC. Brenna and Josh.
Have a good night. You stay classy, Great Britain.
Here's a quick recap. The Tea Act was made April 27, 1773. It was made to save the East India Company from bankruptcy and to drive down the market price for tea.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the CBC.
Hello, fellow Americans. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Catherine.
And this is CBC on May 20th, 1773. We just got in from the town meeting that Britain has struck its powerful and choking fist yet again.
As part of the township duties, Parliament has passed the Tea Act. I don't know about you, Natalie, but this is outrageous.
Absolutely! Not only does this constrict our trade with other countries, but the East India Company is getting more money as we speak, and we as colonies are getting no taxes.
Parliament has repealed all of the township duties except the Tea Act. So far, colonists all over the colonies are fighting back. You know, Natalie, I was talking with one of my friends who happens to be a merchant and owns his own store, and he told me that Britain is only selecting exclusive merchants to sell through.
I say Britain is just creating monopolies in our homes and stores. Let's go to Brenna, who is in Boston, Massachusetts, and hear what she has to say.
As you can see, it is crazy out here. The locals in Boston are in an uproar over the Tea Act. They are protesting no taxation without representation. There has been other news about an organized rebellion being fueled by another patriot group, the Sons of Liberty. That's all I've got here. Back to you, Natalie.
Thank you, Brenna.
Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Have a great and safe night.
This has been a CBC Special Report.
Here's a quick recap. As a part of the township duties, Parliament passed the Tea Act. This constricted trade with other countries and only benefited England because the colonies didn't earn any of the tax money. Parliament repealed all of the township duties except the Tea Act, and it only chose exclusive merchants to sell the tea through.
Brr, it's a chilly winter night. Today is December 16th, 1773, and I'm live here in Griffin's Wharf, where the ships, the Dartmouth, Eleanor, and Beaver, are being attacked. As you can see, a group of colonists dressed as Mohawk Indians are attacking these ships. And it looks like, oh my goodness, they're throwing tea overboard!
Rally Mohawk!
Bring out your axes!
Tell King George!
Don't pay no more taxes!
Rally Mohawk!
Bring out your axes!
Tell King George!
Don't pay no more taxes!
Rally Mohawk!
Bring out your axes!
Tell King George!
We'll pay no more taxes!
Rally Mohawk!
Bring out your axes! Tell King George!
We'll pay no more taxes!
What now, Britain?
Your face!
Well, there you have it, Britain. Let's see how your tea steeps in salt water now.
The damage here is obviously done. It has caused a huge ripple. Right now I'm here with Samuel Adams, who has taken lead in many of the public town meetings. How do you feel about your success with the Boston Tea Party?
I feel that we as colonists had to strike back against this unjust tea act. Not only have we had great success with our own tea party, but several ports along the seaboard have also had their own. This is a large movement, and we hope it will be as successful as it has been so far.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adams. This has been a live CBC report of the Boston Tea Party. Watch out, Britain, those patriots are putting up a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to the BBC. For those of you who have not yet heard the news, the colonists in America have been trying to strike back at the Tea Act we told you about some months ago.
Last night, the Sons of Liberty and their followers dumped precious tea into the Boston Harbor, and they refused to pay their taxes. For some more of the story, we have Natalie.
Thanks, Brenna. I, for one, think this is absolutely devastating. As you can see from all the crates of tea, 342 crates of tea were tossed overboard, which is equal to about 45 tons. $1 million worth of tea were wasted by these so-called patriots. The tea party happened between 7 and 10 p.m., and the ships attacked the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and Beaver. Oh, and look who's here. This is Admiral Montague. He was one of the witnesses that witnessed the Boston Tea Party. What actually happened?
Somewhere between 100 and 200 men and boys dressed as Mohawk Indians came. They boarded the 3 ships here, the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver, poured all the tea on all the ships into the harbor.
And what did you do to this reaction?
They passed beneath my window, and I looked out and told them, "Well, it looks like you've had a fine evening for yourself, boys, but mind, you'll pay the fiddler yet."
All right, and, well, what did Pitt say after that?
After that, Pitt, the leader of the act, said, "Come down, sir, and we'll settle the bill in 2 seconds."
That must have been terrifying.
It was.
Thank you very much, Admiral, for sharing your event with us. And I will have more news on this later on.
I, for one, have had it with these rebellious traders across the sea. I know some people think this is a revolution, but I think the Crown needs to take the military over there and end these treacherous patriots.
Hear, hear, those betraying hooligans. Thank you for joining us on BBC. Good night, everyone.
This has been a BBC special.
BBC. Hey guys, here's another quick recap. During the Boston Tea Party, the Sons of Liberty threw 342 crates of tea, which contained 45 tons of tea leaves, off of the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver. This damage was estimated at $1 million. Welcome to the CBC.
Hello everyone, welcome to the CBC. It has been 1 year since we celebrated the Boston Tea Party, but right now we are hardly celebrating.
Parliament has now finished the last touches of the coercive acts, which have just been established. These acts are closing Boston Harbor from shipping, establishing military rule here, and requiring colonists to house British troops.
These acts are intolerable. All we wanted was to scream for our freedom, and we end up with more rules and laws. You know, Kat, perhaps change is in the air. A revolution may come out of this just yet.
Well, that's all we have for you today, folks. Good night, and be careful out there.